Hey everybody, welcome to Ask Ron. And the question today is, did I really say that? So this is in response to, there was an Instagram story, Men's Physique Pro posted last week. It says, at Ron Harris Muscle, that's my Instagram, you should all be subscribing. At Ron Harris Muscle MD says, if guys don't want to train much, they can compete in men's physique. If guys don't want to train much, they can compete in men's physique. Why would anyone give this guy a show to talk on? Hashtag fanboy. Who am I a fanboy of in that scenario? I'm not sure. So, I post a lot of things. I make a lot of videos. I put out a lot of content in general. So I wasn't sure. Maybe I did say those words. I didn't remember saying anything like that. But I started a thread on the MD Noble forum soliciting information. I wanted to know, does anyone out there, here's what this guy said, I claimed I said. Did I ever say that anywhere? Sure enough, these guys came through for me. And they quoted, apart from the Jose Raymond Ronline report interview I did a couple days before this guy posted. Maybe it was the day before. So that's obviously what inspired this gentleman, this pro men's physique competitor. So I have to put this in context because his quote, he quoted me out of context. Jose and I were speaking about guys moving from different divisions. Specifically, in this case, we were talking about Keon Pearson, who had been fourth place at the Olympia in Classic Physique, and George Peterson, who had been third place for the third year in a row at the Olympia in Classic Physique. Both of them are moving to 212 next year for 2020. They're moving up. It's a division where we're going to have more muscle. So that's what this conversation was about with me and Jose. And if you want to see the original video to make sure I'm not misquoting myself here, it's at 16 minutes and 18 seconds into our interview. I said, I can bitch and moan about there being too many divisions now, but it also gives guys a chance. If they want to grow, they can go from classic to 212. If they feel like they're even bigger, they can go to open bodybuilding I'm talking about. If they don't want to train much, they can go back. They can do men's physique if they want to get even smaller. That was my quote. It was spoken in haste, and what I was really trying to say, in the middle of, Jose and I were talking about 30 different things in this interview. But what I was discussing there is, we have guys that move up in divisions. We've had guys go from men's physique to classic to 212. That's happened. We've also had a lot of guys go from 212 to classic. We've had some guys go from open to classic. So I was talking about maybe someone in these divisions with more muscle would go down. They have options. They can go, you can compete. If you're a pro, you can compete in any men's pro division. If you're a female pro, you can compete in any women's pro division, I believe. You could be a bikini competitor and say, I'll compete in that women's bodybuilding event in Romania next month. Why not? You can do that. So that's what I was getting at, is that if you're an open bodybuilder or 212 pro or classic physique pro, you have the option. You could go to men's physique if you want to. How would you do that? When I say they don't train much, that was definitely not the right way to phrase it. That came across sounding like these guys are lazy. I'll get to that in a minute. They're not lazy. But what I was getting at is you would have to lose muscle, because the amount of muscle you carry as an open bodybuilder or 212 bodybuilder, or even as in most cases as a classic pro, that's too much muscle for men's physique. Men's physique division is supposed to be more of a mainstream look. It's like a beach body look. So if you were in one of those other divisions and you want to compete in men's physique successfully, you would have to lose muscle. You'd have to. Just like if you're a female bodybuilder and you want to go down to a division with less muscle, like women's physique, or let's say figure, or let's say bikini, you'd have to drop a lot of muscle. You'd have to train a lot lighter. You'd have to eat a lot less, use less gear. There's a lot of things that would have to be done. And that's what I was getting at. I was never implying for a minute that these guys don't train hard. They don't train enough. Of course they do. I have a lot of respect for men's physique pros, believe it or not. I know I've made a lot of cracks about board shorts, but I'm not coming down on the athletes, the competitors themselves. I'm coming down on the division. I have issues with the division itself because as a bodybuilder, someone who started out when all there was bodybuilding, it's boring to me. There's not a lot going on. They face the front and they face the rear. That's it. There's no posing. You can see even they get bored with it. They try to sneak in little half-ass poses and little things flexing here and there because it's boring to just stand there. So, yeah, I have issues also with the fact that they cover the thighs. This is a physique competition. Why would you be covering the entire quads and hamstrings, glutes, all that. It's all covered up by these board shorts. You know, I know guys, men's physique guys tend to be a little sensitive because they've gotten a lot of heat. They're the butt of a lot of jokes because they wear, you know, we say board shorts. We just laughingly refer to as board shorts. You know, they didn't choose this. That it was created, the division, and they just chose to compete in it. They also get blasted a lot of times saying these guys don't have any legs. A lot of them do have legs. You know, I've seen a couple pose downs at the Olympia weekend where Bob Ciccarello will have these impromptu pose downs before they do the awards or whatever. And the guys, they're having fun. They'll pull up their board shorts and they'll be hitting bodybuilder shots, and they do have legs. Now, not all men's physique competitors do have leg development. Why would they? They don't have to have leg development because we're never seeing the legs. So if they choose not to train legs or not to make their legs large, that's their prerogative, and it certainly makes sense. But I have nothing but respect for these guys. I think they look phenomenal. I wish I looked like these guys. Believe me, they all have. If you turn pro in men's physique, you have wide shoulders and a little tiny waist. I guarantee you. That's the structure you have to do well in men's physique. You can't have a very wide waist. You can't have narrow clavicles. Either of those two things, you're screwed. It's very difficult to turn pro in men's physique. I think it's the toughest division to turn pro in because of the sheer numbers. There are bodybuilding shows that are pro qualifiers that I've seen. Maybe we're talking masters or something, but even in the open sometimes. I've seen it in some shows where you can get pro card where you only have to beat a couple people. There's only 2, 3, 4 people in a class. You're never going to see a pro qualifier for men's physique with 4 guys in a class. It'll be 30, 40, 50, 60. If we're talking about North American, Nationals, USA, Amateur Olympia, these classes are enormous. Arnold Amateur, enormous classes, tons of guys. You have to be damn good. You have to have great genetics. You have to work your ass off to be a men's physique pro. So I'm not putting them down for a minute. And, you know, I trained with a competitor, a guy named Chris Griffin. You might know him as The Goon. He's got his own show, Beast Coast Live. Chris has competed in men's physique, classic physique, and open bodybuilding. In the 5 years or so that we trained together, he competed in all those divisions. He would jump around whatever he wanted to. Now, he trained hard no matter what, and he trained the same no matter what division he was going to be competing in. It's not like he stopped training hard because he was doing men's physique, or he never even stopped training legs, even though they were covered up because, you know, he might be doing classic in the same show. He might be doing a bodybuilding show a month after that where he'd need legs. So what I'm getting at is I'm well aware that men's physique pros train very hard. Men's physique amateurs, everybody train. We all train hard, okay? The remark was taken a little out of context. I should not have phrased it that way. I was rushing through, as you'll see in the interview. We were talking about the Olympia, and that was one thing that came up. The fact that guys can jump up and down divisions. You can go into divisions with more muscle mass. You can go into divisions with less muscle mass. It's your option. Once you have that pro card, you're a pro. So if you were going to move into a division with less muscle, you know, say you're a 270-pound open bodybuilder and you want to be a classic physique pro, and the cutoff for your height is 230 pounds. This is something that happened to Regan Grimes in spring of 2018. He had to drop a ton of weight. He had to do it fast. So that's what I was talking about. It was never meant as any disrespect to men's physique competitors, amateur, professional, at any level. Nothing but respect. We're all brothers and sisters in iron. We all work our asses off. We all eat these freaking same boring meals every 2 hours. We all go to the gym every damn day. There's gear, there's supplements. We're all living the same life, just variations on a theme. So sorry if I offended anybody. It was really not meant to offend anybody. It was not meant to disrespect anybody. And that's all. I hope I rectified the situation. If not, you know, I can't keep everybody happy, but I try to at least be respectful of everybody who puts in the work. And everyone that competes, we all put in the work. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.